Are you a spectator or are you an achiever? Spectators are people who stand around watching life pass them by, unwilling to try anything new. Achievers are people who have dreams and have visions of the future, are willing to go out and take bold chances, and willing to put it on the line to see what they can achieve in their life. How do you know if you're dealing with a spectator? Let's take a deeper look. Spectators are typically know-it-alls. They can't learn anything from you or anybody else because they've already experienced everything there is to know about life. They tend to be very skeptical, and they're also very critical of other people who have achieved success. They assume those successful people have either cheated or somehow got lucky on their path to success. Spectators also refuse to take chances. They need to know that every single step is laid out and that their outcome is guaranteed before they take any kind of action. And of course, we all know that in life, this just doesn't happen. Now let's talk about achievers. Achievers are people who are usually very goal-driven. They think of ideas in their mind that they start pursuing with a positive attitude. Achievers believe in themselves and they believe that they're going to be able to figure out any problem that stands in their way. The biggest thing about achievers is that they're willing to fail. They understand that successful people became successful by overcoming failures and that failure is part of the process. They embrace failure. Let's take a look at how a spectator processes the world. A spectator may actually come up with a pretty good, inspiring idea for their life, but almost immediately they dismiss it, thinking it's just not possible for them. If they take it one step further and start contemplating it, they want to know right away that there's a clear road with a direct path right to the target. They want to know that all the lights are green before they get started. And as we know, in life, this doesn't happen, and they become imprisoned by inactivity. They can't get started because they can't see how they're going to do it. Achievers, on the other hand, look at goals in a whole different light. They think about something they want to do and they turn it into a burning desire, that's something they must do. They commit to the goal before they ever have an idea how they're going to achieve it. Once they've committed to the goal, they start taking action. They understand that there's going to be action steps that are failures, action steps that are successes, and some really good wins along the way. Everything turns into a learning experience. They don't necessarily know when they're going to achieve their goal, but they work towards it and they understand that this is what gives them life and adds excitement to everything that they do. Let's take a look at some notable achievers in action. Ruben Gonzalez set his mind that he would compete in the Olympics before he even knew which sport he was going to compete in. He decided to pick a sport that had the highest dropout rate and the most broken bones, the luge. He went on to become a three-time Olympian. Jana Stanfield. For as long as she could remember, Jana wanted to be a famous singer. She went to Nashville and worked for years looking to get discovered for her own record deal. When that never happened, she decided to try something new. She started producing her own music and looking for her own following. Eventually, people started to catch on. Over time, she did very well for herself and has now sold over 1 million copies of her own albums. Some of her songs have even been recorded by people like Reba McEntire and Andy Williams, just to name a few. John Assaraf. John took the struggling Remax of Indiana and claimed that he would turn it into a $1 billion sales organization within 5 years. People nearly laughed him out of town. Sure enough, 5 years later, he did hit that $1 billion target and today has surpassed over $5 billion in annual sales. John is a pure example of achievers in action. So now, my question to you is, are you ready to become an achiever? If you are, here's a simple 3-step process you can follow to get started. First, identify a goal that inspires you and excites you. It turns into a burning desire for success. Second, make a commitment to achieve it at all costs. In your head, turn it into not just a possibility, but a probability and an eventuality. Finally, take that first step. Correct and learn as you go, but just know that failure is part of the process and you will eventually get there as long as you stay committed. Thanks for watching. I hope I've awakened the achiever spirit within you. This is Justin Popovich from IgniteYourEssence.com.